Here on CNN. Let's discuss what's going on. Joining us from New York, Republican strategist and contributing author of the book Lean Together, Sabrina Schaefer. She's also the executive director of the Independent Women's Forum. Here in Washington with me, Democratic strategist, CNN political commentator Maria Cardona. Maria, are you confused at all about the sort of mixed messages we've been getting? The president very clear, no combat ground troops will be involved. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs yesterday testifying before the Senate Armed Services Committee saying, well, he might down the road, if this current strategy doesn't work, have to go to the president with a recommendation to deploy combat troops.
No, not at all, Wolf. I actually don't think it's a mixed message. The president has been very clear, and Secretary Kerry, I believe, will be very clear today that right now there is no plan to put American combat troops on the ground. That hasn't changed. What we heard yesterday from the general is a general doing what he should be doing, military planning, a fantastic military mind looking down the road to see what contingencies might arise, and it was an answer to a question. If he hadn't said that, Wolf, I would be like, this guy is not competent. I would be worried, in fact. That is his job, and in fact, the president said that he wants him to do that kind of planning, and he wants him to come back to him if at some point down the road he feels like that's what needs to be done. He was very clear yesterday also, that is not where we are today, and that is not what he's recommending.
All right, Sabrina, would it be smarter, and I've heard this from a bunch of people out there, I wonder if you agree, if the president, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, other U.S. officials simply said the U.S. goal is to degrade and ultimately destroy ISIS, all options are on the table, keep everyone guessing what the United States of America might be doing. Would that be a smarter strategy?
Well, for me, that's what I want to hear, Wolf. I mean, look, I'm a mom. I'm up here in New York today, but I'm usually in D.C., and the first thing I think about when I get up today are my kids going to be safe when they go to school in D.C.? Are we going to be safe up here in Washington? And I think the thing that's missing from this conversation is I haven't heard the president make me feel any safer. I don't get a sense that there's any kind of consistent, coherent foreign policy. And the reality is that we're probably in this situation today because of the inactions that he took last year with Syria at this very time. So I think that people want to know that there's a strategy in place, that it's clear-headed, that we're leaving options on the table, and that we're being smart about our approach to both al-Qaeda and ISIS. I
want to play a clip, Maria. This is from the president earlier today talking about America's role in the world. Listen to this.
In an uncertain world full of breathtaking change, the one constant is American leadership. In a world where technology provides a small group of killers with the ability to do terrible harm, it is America that has the capacity and the will to mobilize the world against terrorists, including the group in Syria and Iraq known as ISIL.
That seems to be a bit different what he said at West Point, the speech in May, when he said the America cannot be the world's policeman.
Well, I actually don't think it's all that different. I think the two are consistent. It's not inconsistent to say that when people are in trouble in the world, they do look to America. I think that is exactly right. The question for us is, when do we get involved? And I think that is exactly the discussion that we're having right now, and it's a healthy discussion. But I do want to address something that Sabrina said. She's right. Moms, and I'm one of them, wake up every morning and think about the safety of our kids. What the president has said also that I think is very important is that right now there is no intelligence that indicates there is any imminent threat to our homeland today. And one of the things that we have to be very wary about, and this is a war-weary nation, is we don't want to send our troops and have moms and dads be saying goodbye to their kids for another global conflict.
Go ahead, Sabrina.
Right. No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, look, I'm not going to have to sacrifice the way so many families have if we were to put troops on the ground. And I think one of the ways that we can be a leader is not always having troops on the ground. It's how we're actually using them. Are we using our special operators in a way to make sure that we're mentoring and training and helping the Kurds and the other Iraqis and bringing in the Sunnis to actually make a difference on the ground? So there's different ways that we can be leaders other than just a ground war.
Sabrina Schaefer, thanks very much. Maria Cardona, thanks to you as well. That's it for me. Thanks very much for watching. I'll be back 5 p.m.